Welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. Today I have a new list of 5 9.8 comics that are dropping in value. Alright, so the first one, it's a Ghost Rider number 28 in a 9.8. Yeah, this one is from 1992. Pretty big first appearance. A great cover on this one as well. It's a first appearance of Lilith and the Midnight Suns. And this one's absolutely been cooling down recently. Yeah, a few of the prices, I think it's really starting to shine as a pretty great value, especially if you're a big Ghost Rider fan. So a recent one I saw that kind of made me think to throw it on this video. It sold for $132.50, all US dollars, the prices. I saw another one sell for $155.50. So this is, one, it was like a year and a half ago. I think there were some rumors and, the kind of stimulus checks were hitting the market around that time as well. But this one was kind of $275, like it was pushing $300. I think a good deal was sort of in that $250 range around those rumors. So, nowadays, $132.50, $155.50. I think if you're a Ghost Rider fan, this one is one to kind of get in there. A great combo of solid first appearance with some potential. A great cover as well that, makes it really collectible. Pretty decent on the census. There's a 807 9.8s in the blue label, and 43.6% of all graded copies are 9.8s. So decent on the census for like an early 90s book, actually. And yeah, $132.50. If you're a Ghost Rider fan, you like this one, I think that's a price to aim for. Yeah, both of these prices looking pretty good. Even around 150s, I think is looking pretty great if you like this one. Okay, next one. It's a new X-Men number 115. This one's pretty underfollowed. From 2001, it's first appearance of Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Yeah, she had some appearances in the Deadpool movies. And yeah, this is an interesting one. It's kind of a good example of just because some character gets in a movie, it doesn't mean they're like a surefire great comic book investment. And because this one has really cooled down, quite a bit. And it kind of spiked up around those Deadpool appearances, catching people off guard. Pretty great Wolverine cover, though. I think now that it's really cooled down. It's basically around $100. I saw one on eBay. It was in Canada, and I was kind of watching it. It was for $119 in a flat buy now, so $120 American, and it didn't sell. So yeah, I think actually they have sold for $120 in the past, if you look. So that was like a kind of one of those fair valued buy it nows. But I think you can possibly get this one under $100 as well. Yeah, cool Ryan Ottley Wolverine cover, I think it is too. So this one's kind of a cool value, I think, too. 96 9.8, so 1 in 96, pretty great. 2001, comic books weren't that popular during this time, so I doubt this one's super heavily printed or anything like that. 1 of 96, 61.5%, the 9.8 ratio. So yeah, consider an X-Men, new X-Men, 115 and a 9.8. Okay, next one is Darth Vader 3. In a 9.8. First appearance of Dr. Aphra. Big modern key issue, but in the 9.8, there's so many of them out there that it was maybe always prone to a pullback, it being just a modern comic, and if there's no kind of Dr. Aphra is going to be in a movie or show, this one was kind of prone to cool down, and that hadn't happened. And a recent sale though on this one in a 9.8 sold for $343. So that's kind of a cooling down, dropping in price. Saw another one sell it for $404, and I was kind of used to this one going for a little under $450, like kind of $425, in that sort of $400 to $450 range. Maybe people even paying up to that $500 level. And if you go back, yeah, certainly you go back kind of when the stimulus checks were hitting. This one was like $700, $800 for a minute there. But absolutely cooling down now. There's a 3,347 9.8s of Darth Vader 3 in that first print. A lot of them out there. So yeah, kind of this one and Amazing Spider-Man number 4 when Cindy Moon becomes Silk. These are the two where there's so many in a 9.8. They're not that tough in a 9.8. And they were always kind of prone to a cool down if the perfect thing didn't happen for the characters. So yeah, not the best on the census, but if you're a big Dr. Aphra fan, $343 I think is a price to aim for on the 9.8 for this one. And of note too, kind of seeing Canon the Last Padawan number 6 cool down a little bit. That one was selling for about $600-ish, and recent sale was $475 for that one. That's first Ezra Bridger and Sabine Wren. So, you know, you're a Star Wars fan, kind of a better time to buy these two, I think, than in the past sort of 3 to 6 months. So dropping in value a little bit for those two. Next one is a DC Comics Presents number 26. Just an awesome no-brainer DC key issue in a 9.8. Noticed a pretty soft price, I guess you could say, for a direct edition in a 9.8 for this one. $1,580 saw and sell for, and yeah, you go back in the last 6 to 12 months. Remember this one going right around 2,000. The newsstands are usually a little over 2,000. Maybe you get lucky on a direct, get it a bit under. But 1,500 or so, I hadn't saw too much. So this one cooling down a bit, and with the Titans show and the Teen Titans Go show, yeah, these Teen Titans have become a really big part of pop culture. This is a pretty big George Perez key issue, and rest in peace to George Perez. That's super sad. And this is just one of those big George Perez keys that you want to have as a big George Perez fan. And there's 496 9.8s in the blue label for this one. 13.3%, the 9.8 ratio. So great collector item, big first appearances that are in pop culture now. And right around 1,500, hadn't seen too much recently. Maybe it even cools down a little under. And yeah, I think this is one of the best DC, let's call it 1980s comic books in the 9.8 to invest in. Yeah, so you want to consider that one right around $1,500. Okay, last one here. It's an Invincible Iron Man, number 9. First full appearance of Riri Williams. Seeing this one kind of cool down. And myself, I really like the cover on this first print. We'll just kind of focus on the first print right now. And I've been waiting for it to really cool down because it's been one of those hotter ones for the last 2 years or so. But I saw a recent one in a 9.8 sell, $541. Also saw one sell for $584 and $617. So this is one, 3 to 6 months ago, let's call it. It was more around 700, I would say. A lot of these had sold for 750, around that time. And you go back even more, I'm pretty sure this one was over 1,000 when the stimulus checks were hitting the market. So yeah, I think the market's kind of cooling down a little bit more, and the stock market is kind of cooling down as well. So there seems to be more and more books that are, having a little bit, dropping in value a little bit. But this is one of them, and yeah, like I said, I do like this one. I have been waiting for it to cool down. And right around, 541, will it get to 500 or maybe a little under? I'm not too sure. I actually think, given that there's going to be some Riri pop culture moving forward, cool cover on this one. And it's not really like the Darth Vader 3 book or the Amazing Spider-Man 4 Cindy Moon book. 1,109, 9.8 in a blue label. So not like, 3,000, 4,000 in a 9.8, which is, makes it a better collector item, a tougher one. 44.9%, the 9.8 ratio. So yeah, you know what? The more I think about it, I actually think 541 was kind of the lowest sale I was seeing. That's a great price target to aim for, especially if you're a big Riri fan. This is kind of a good one to buy right now. Admittedly, yeah, it's been a much higher price in the last year or two. So yeah, a pretty great one to consider right now, as yeah, some of these 9.8 seem to be cooling down just a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I'll throw up another video here of some of these dropping in value videos that I've done recently. They seem to be pretty popular if you want to check that one out as well. But thanks so much for watching, team. I'll see you on the next one. If you're liking my content, please subscribe and hit that bell, and I'll keep you updated on future videos.